Hello everyone, welcome to next section of our video. So in this section we will be discussing about the linear layouts, where we use a linear layout in which all conditions and what all features are there in a linear layout. So Android linear layout is basically a view group that aligns all the children in either vertically or horizontally. So as you can see in this pictorial diagram which I have mentioned, this is the Android orientation. If we want to design the elements either in a vertical manner or in a horizontal manner, a linear layout is used. This is a kind of demo app you can see where there are 3 buttons and this has to be arranged in a horizontal way. So best is to use a linear layout. So basically a layout that organizes its children into a single horizontal or a vertical row, to be very simple to understand about the linear layout. And one more thing is there, it creates a scroll bar. So if the length of the window exceeds the length of the screen, so suppose here you have added 10 elements and it's going across the screen, so it will automatically add a scrollable bar and you can just scroll the elements and see those elements over here. So I'll just show you in the some of the attributes which a linear layout is using, and the syntax or ID which uniquely defines the layout in our app. So I'll just go to the Android Studio and show you those elements. So this is the studio, and as you can see, I'll just scroll over here. So this is the layout section. So these are the different layouts which I'll be discussing. So as you can see over here, there are 2 types of layouts: linear layout and a linear layout horizontal and linear layout vertical. So in our app, let's try to add this layouts, and as I told you, there are important attributes which are specific to the layouts. So first let me add a linear layout. Suppose I am going and adding this linear layout, just drag and drop and your linear layout will be, so this is a linear layout. And suppose in the linear layout we have added linear layout, you can see the orientation is the horizontal, this is a linear layout. And here from here drop down as well, you can select a linear, it's a horizontal or vertical. For now we'll take a horizontal one and we'll just try to add some of the children's like the button or the text view. So I'll just add one button over here. I'll try to add one more button over here. So you can see it doesn't allow me to add the button just below this one. It will just allows me to add over here in the same line because it's a linear layout horizontal one. So we cannot add it in a vertical manner. So for that we have to use a linear layout vertical. One more thing, this is the design view. So we'll just go and see in the text view, this once we drag and drop this elements in the design view, the entire code for this will be added in your text view. So we'll just go over here and you can see this is the linear layout which was started from here. So this is my code, this is linear layout, the orientation was horizontal, and you can see this is match parent. So match parent basically design, this is the complete width of the screen and it is matching the parent. So that's why the code is over here, the match parent width and the height both. And you can see I have added 3 buttons. So all these 3 buttons are added over here. And the unique thing or the important attribute which you need to make sure is specific to linear layout is your Android ID. So this is the Android ID, and so in the Android ID, this ID basically uniquely defines the layout, and the syntax for the ID inside the XML tag, that is you have to put @ID and then your button. So there are 3 buttons are added. So these are the different IDs for those buttons. So if I go ahead and delete any of this one, it will delete the button from there. So let's try this one and let's see in the design view. So you can see that button was deleted with the ID as 7. if I delete this one, so this is how the code is added in text view. So when you become more advanced with Android coding, so it's always good to go write your code in the text view. We don't need a design view anymore, but since now you're beginner for this, so it's always better to use a design view so that you have a better understanding like what elements you are adding over here and how those are reflected in your layout. Next we can just go ahead and add a linear layout vertical as well. We can just try that one. So for that, first I'll delete this complete code which we have added for a horizontal linear layout. So I'm deleting this complete code and we'll see over here. So you can see the complete code is, I'll add a linear layout vertical. So this is a linear layout vertical, and we'll do the same thing. We'll add some of the buttons over here and we'll just see what is the difference of that. So as you can see, this is a vertical view. So this one is how it's added. So this is the vertical view or vertical linear layout vertical, and this is how your options are added. Same if you go back and see it in the text view. So this is linear layout. The code starts from here. The orientation is vertical. Rest all the buttons are added. You have a unique ID for all this button. So there are ID number button 10, 11. So this all you can rename it anyways afterwards. So if I put this one as some different name, I can do it over here. And so these are the different buttons. So if I go ahead and delete any one of this, those gets deleted. So either you can delete it from the text view or a design view. So you can see over here it got deleted from here. Now I have only 4 buttons left. So this is how you can differentiate between a linear layout vertical and horizontal. So one thing you need to remember, that whenever you want your child or the different elements in the layout to be either in one position, either vertically or horizontally, it's always good to go for a linear layout and select whether you want a linear layout horizontal or a vertical one. So this is about linear layout. So thank you, and let's see you in this next section about the relative layouts.